Welcome to the Portable Classroom Max program. Noun clause, embedded questions. Today, we're going to talk about a very specific type of question that's called the embedded questions. Before we move on, first, we need to understand what a noun clause is. A noun clause, it's a clause that is used as a noun. Now, what can a noun do? A noun can be a subject in a sentence or the object in a sentence. So noun clauses can also be subjects and objects in sentences. Now look at the following examples. Do you know who the person is? Now who the person is, it's an embedded question and it's also a noun clause. You can see that this is the verb know and who the person is the noun clause. It is, in this sentence, the object of the verb know. I don't know whether or not Peter is home. Peter, or whether or not Peter is home, is an embedded question and also a noun clause. It is the object of the verb know. So you know that noun clauses, including embedded questions, can be used as objects. It can also be used as a subject. So remember that a noun clause, it's a clause that is used as a noun. And a noun can be a subject or an object in a sentence. Okay, let's go back to the embedded question. Now, embedded question, first you have to know that in English there are 4 different kinds of questions. Yes, no questions, like do you like fried chicken? And the answer is either yes or no. WH questions, when we want to know about something, we will use WH questions. For example, I want to know about the location of a certain place. I would say, where is it? When is it? To know about the time. Who does it? To know about the person. Tag questions are questions like, he is a student, isn't he? That's a tag question. And embedded question is what we're going to do today. But unlike the previous 3 kinds of questions, we can use embedded question to answer or ask a question. For example, look at the following examples. I don't know where Tom is. It's the answer to a question. You can see that this is the main clause and it's a statement. It's not a question. So that's why the sentence ends with a period, ends in a period. And if someone asks you, where is Tom? I don't know that. And I will just say, I don't know where Tom is. So it's a reply to a question. But it can also be a question. Now, do you know where Tom is? You can see that the main clause is written in the form of a question. So it ends with a question mark. Now, in this case, it is a question. So we know that embedded questions can be used as replies to questions, or we can use them to ask other people. These are the commonly seen main clauses that we use with embedded questions. I don't remember, I can't remember, I've forgotten, I'm not sure, I've no idea. Or do you know, in question form, do you know, can you tell me, could you tell me, could you please tell me, could you possibly tell me, do you have any idea, do you by any chance know? Now, we are going to talk about how to form an embedded question first. I will introduce to you by the merging of 2 sentences. Look, I'm going to ask a question like, where is John? So this is a question. I want to answer that question by saying I don't know that information. So I don't know. But be careful. When I put this sentence here, it is no longer in the form of a question. I have to switch the position of the subject, that is John, and the verb is. I have to put them back to the original order, which subject will be placed before a verb. So I don't know where, subject comes first, John is. So this is the answer. So remember, In embedded questions, we place the subject before verbs, just like how we write statements. Here comes a more difficult one. Why do young people like such loud music? This is a question, and the question is in present simple tense with the helping verb do. And we both know that we do not use do in statements unless it is a negative statement. So if I'm going to say I have no idea, I will say I have no idea why. We do not use do in positive statements, so we take away do. Young people like such loud music. So answer is I have no idea why young people like such loud music. Let's look at next example. Where did mom and dad get married? Okay, that's a question, and I'm not sure. So I will say, I'm not sure where. Okay, see, did is also a helping verb that does not appear in statements. So we do not use did, but the sentence is written in the past tense. We must change the verb over here to its past tense. So we will be saying, I'm not sure where mom and dad. The past tense of get is got, so got married. So be careful with these kinds of questions, simply because we don't use helping verbs in statements. So when you have sentences like this, with simple tenses, simple present tense, or simple past tense, do or did or does, remember to take away these helping verbs and mind the verb changes of your sentence. In this case, we do not use did, so get past tense. We don't use do in statements, so no do in this sentence. Okay? Now let's go back to the lesson plan. So you know that embedded questions are used to answer or ask questions. Now you can see the examples over here. What time is it? Now put the subject back. Do you know what time it is? Who are those people? I don't know who those people are. Where can I find Linda? Can you tell me where I can find Linda? How much will it cost? Do you know? Do you have any idea how much it will cost? Be careful with do, does, and did questions because you have to take away these helping verbs simply because we do not use them in statements. What time does the film begin? Simple present tense. Take away does and put the s back to begins. Do you know what time the film begins? What do you mean? We don't need the do. Lose the do, so please explain what you mean. Why did she leave early? We don't use did. Lose the did. I wonder why she left early. So change the verb leave to its past tense, left. Now, what if the questions that somebody asks us is an yes-no question, like, did anybody see you? Now, if it's a yes-no question, we use if or whether as the beginning of our embedded question. So we will say, did anybody see you? Did you know if anybody saw you? The same, lose the did. Or you can say, do you know whether anybody saw you? So when it's a yes-no question, we use if or whether as the beginning of the embedded questions, as the noun clause. Now, thank you for watching this. For more information, please visit www.theportableclassroom.blogspot.tw. There are more grammatical points and lesson plans and videos at your disposal. Thank you very much.